Lexicon 2014's theme this time is Vote for Education. So what is your take on it?
I think education is the foundation of a balanced and responsible society. Today, Chandigarh stands divided. There's one Chandigarh that's north of Madhya Marg that lacks in nothing. It has everything from infrastructure to civic amenities, and then there is that Chandigarh which lives south of the Madhya Marg, which comprises southern sectors, the colonies and the villages, where equitable and adequate access to education and of course healthcare and civic amenities is a daily battle. Now Chandigarh is one city where it is possible to ensure equitable access to education in a welfare state, which we are. It is the state's responsibility to make sure there's equal opportunity. Equal opportunity means that a child studying in a government school in Maloya or in Mauli Jagran or in sector 56 should have the same opportunity as a child studying in a private school anywhere else in Chandigarh, and it is possible. About 20-25 years ago, for example, the government model school in 10th sector was considered at par with Carmel Convent, and people would take pride in sending their kids to government schools. Today, it's become almost derogatory. Oh, he goes to a government school. So we have allowed this infrastructure to degrade, and the state is abdicating its responsibility towards providing equal opportunity. It's not possible to give equal economic access to everybody, because in a democracy everybody has their own abilities to fight with, but at least we have to make sure there's a level playing field. And I think that is the crux of the problem. It's a very long answer to the question you asked, but equitable access to education is the starting point of development in a city, in a state, and at the national level.
Having said that, on a national scene, what do you think are the major problems in the current education system of India?
There's this report published by the Nataraj Foundation, I'm sure you can Google it, maybe attach it here as well, that says that there has been no thrust on secondary education. There is a primary healthcare, there's a primary education mission, and the entire focus of the education policy has been primarily on primary education. And secondary education in the process has gotten completely ignored. The same study that I'm quoting from by the Nataraj Foundation also says that a significant number of teachers across the country are not even senior secondary pass, and this is the case in the hinterland in India. So when the quality of teachers is not what one desires, because teaching is no longer an attractive profession. There was a time that being a teacher and being a doctor were almost at par. Today, take Chandigarh for an example, the college that you represent has 100% contractual teachers.
Yeah.
How will these people be motivated to impart education? And this is at the college level. The formation of the personality and your moral values are imbibed in your secondary education. And that is something the government has completely ignored for a number of years.
And ma'am, then what kind of solutions do you suggest to this problem?
There's a solution for everything. The interesting thing about our system is that the blueprint is solid. I've been running an NGO for the last 4 years, and we've worked extensively in Chandigarh on gender justice, particularly to do with our campaigns and work with the Chandigarh administration in female feticide. And what I found when I started this NGO was that there exists a framework and a blueprint for everything. There is a policy and a framework and a scheme for everything. What lacks is the implementation and the will to implement it. The will is missing, and of course the fact that there exists a nexus between the elected representatives of the people and the administration at a local level. So the trickle down of the scheme and the benefit doesn't reach the ground level.
And then what new ideas or innovations will you implement when you come to power?
See, fundamentally there are two things that need to be done. You have to look towards the future, make sure there are more schools, make sure schools become more attractive, make sure there are more smart classrooms, make sure there are better student to teacher ratios, and work towards that even in higher education. I think the fact that we as a city lost the IIM and the IIT to Ropar and Rohtak is lamentable. They should have come to Chandigarh. But for whatever reasons, the administration didn't probably lobby hard enough and make sure they didn't get it. The key here is to make sure that future planning is on course, but the interim period needs to be addressed. The interim period can be addressed by first of all taking care of teachers in institutes like yours to make sure that they are no longer contractual and fight for their regularization so they are more motivated and they can give a better part of themselves to the profession. To revamp and bring a greater energy into the existing system. There are existing schools, colleges in Chandigarh. Let's start with schooling. There's a school in every sector, every village, every colony, more than one in some areas. They need to be reinforced. Till such time, we are future ready. So the future planning remains on the horizon and we strive towards it, but we can't ignore the interim till the future arrives. And that means bolstering and making the existing infrastructure robust. And that's very important. I think Punjab University, there has been a strong demand from people that I've spoken to elevate its status to a central university. And that's something I would definitely be working towards. It will still cater to Punjab, Haryana and Himachal. And that still remains a catchment for this area. But it does need more funds. It needs a larger scope. And I think the fact that this university already does so well, and it's I think ranked number 6, it can be much better if elevated to a central university.
And in the end, your message to the youth?
My message to the youth is simply put, take charge of your life. Casting your vote is just the first step in being participatory in this democracy. It is just the very first step on the ladder of participating in the decision-making process of this country and of course the city. The idea here is to make sure that one moves beyond the traditional role of just casting your vote and takes it forward to more participation and more demands as a body from the representatives. You as a bloc need to demand from us what you want so that we may deliver. It's not for us to decide what's good for you. While there are experts, we will consult them, but you must realize the power of your pressure group. Create a pressure group and ask for what you need, and you should have it.